Welcome to Hockey Nights in Vegas. My name is Eddie Rivkin. I am joined by the next general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Sarina Taylor. How about that one? That was solid, right?
Every day I'm like, what is Eddie going to call me on this one? That's a topic I do want to talk about.
The next general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, which brings me to the first subject. It's a really clever transition, actually, when you think about it. What the fuck? First Butch, then Patrick Waugh, then Tree Living.
I think Tree Living was in between.
Okay.
Either way.
And then yesterday, Tom Fitzgerald in New Jersey.
And Sheldon Keefe is apparently going to be under investigation for his job. They're basically going to be analyzing his job before they do anything else.
Oh, so it's the new GM brings the new coach maneuver.
Well,
but I mean, we talked about on the last episode, 8 games to go. They could have done it 20, 15, 18. They got Patty Waugh with 4 games to go. Same thing with the other. I mean, Kelly's a trendsetter now. Fuck it. We're not waiting till the end of the season. We're not doing what we want. Pull the fucking ripcord. Let's just go.
I love that.
That's wild, though, right?
One of the things that I've always respected about Kelly McCrimmon is that he doesn't give a fuck. If something's going to happen, he doesn't care if there's 8 games left. Again, I'm going to repeat what I said last week. There has to be something more. Like it's not like I said, like he woke up Sunday morning and went, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm just going to do this.
But the Leafs have stunk for 78 games.
Well, the Leafs, how that fell on Tree Living is a little shocking to me because he hasn't been there for that long to be able to take the brunt of what's happening on the ice.
It's not his whole roster, not even close to his whole roster.
So how does Berube keep his job, but Tree Living doesn't? I'm just not sure how something happened there.
Well, and then with Fitzgerald, they've been they were a good team a couple of years ago, and they're not a good team now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have thought for sure Sheldon Keefe was going to get it before Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald been with the organization for a long, long time. Started out as, he's been in upper management for quite a while as well. It certainly makes the end of it adds some spicy ingredients into the end of the season. And they all put out those statements, we really appreciate everything Tom did for the club and we wish him and his family. No, go fuck yourself. You fuck this team. This team's not making the playoffs. The fans are revolting. Get the fuck out of the office. That's my take on it. Tree Living, I mean, he hired Berube, right?
I don't remember. I think Brad came after Craig Berube. Oh, now I can't remember.
So if it wasn't him, it would have been Shanny, right?
How long? Well, Brad hasn't been there for that long.
2 seasons, I think.
Well, I think Berube. Well, no, you might be right because Sheldon Keefe was there before.
Right.
I don't know why I can't.
Because nobody gives a fuck about Toronto.
True. True.
So as I say that to the beautiful blonde wearing a Toronto Blue Jay jersey.
Okay, first of all, this jersey, I am so excited about this. So I got this jersey yesterday. I ordered it on eBay. Somebody bought it in the 90s. It's from the 90s and kept.
Oh, I thought you said I thought you mean like $90.
No, they kept it from the 90s. The tag is still, I don't even have the heart to cut the tag off. And I'm just obsessed because, all my friends like in Canada, they can easily access the Blue Jays jerseys. And I was looking, I'm like, these are really expensive, whatever. And I saw this bitch and it was the right size. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Anyway, fast forward. Here we are, Toronto Maple Leaf land. The Leafs are out of the playoffs. If you're going to fire Tree Living, why wait till the end of the season? What's a diff?
Why not? It's like you throw out the baby with the bathwater. In this case, I think you do. Berube's clearly lost the room.
Well, there's a disconnect somewhere.
Yeah. There's right. And I mean, I think it's kind of entertaining. I love the late season news. I mean, I was sitting around Sunday morning and there was nothing going on. And the thing came across the bottom thirds on the NHL network. The French guy, I can't remember his name, the GM of the Islanders relieves Patrick Waugh and boop, here comes Pete DeBoer.
Yeah.
Right? Same exact concept as Butch and Torts. The difference is that, Patrick Waugh wasn't nearly as successful a coach as Butch is. Never really. But the Islanders fired him from a playoff spot. They had lost 4 games in a row. And, the French guy said, I just felt like it's a time for a change. And I'm like, oh, all right, we got something to do on Sunday. It's an off day for the NCAA basketball. I got to wait another day for the mighty Michigan Wolverines. But it's just very strange to me. I don't recall a year when there's been this and these are significant firings. Stanley Cup, winning coach. Arguably one of the greatest 3 or 4 goaltenders in the history of the NHL. Tree Living's done great things as a GM. Fitzgerald, not so much. But I kind of, I'm thinking, are we going to get any more? The season's only got, 8 days left? I think they end on the 15th. So
somebody's going to get trigger happy. I will say this, though. I think Brad Treliving is one of probably the nicest people in the entire world. But really, he hasn't really done a lot. He was in Calgary. They iced a pretty good team in 2022. But that was it. And they really haven't done that much. And obviously, he didn't do anything in Toronto.
Did Kyle Dubas bring in?
Yeah, he might have.
Bring in Chief?
Somebody's going to have to come tell us because it's getting fucking sideways.
Yeah, and we can't ask Bjorn that. It's too complicated.
Yeah. How do we explain to the Brazilian fucking producer? Could you look up when fuck it?
No.
It doesn't really matter. But another thing, too, that I found very interesting is the talk about who's going to replace Tree Living is Sonny Mehta from Florida.
Yeah, he's the AGM in Florida, right?
Listen to me.
You know Sonny.
Yes. Not very well.
I bet he says hi to you in the press box.
Of course.
I mean, look at you. Of course.
Great guy. Super nice. Thanks, Eddie. Super nice guy. But immediately I was like, You can't, in Toronto, arguably the mecca of hockey, you cannot hire, number one, an American.
Is he American? I don't know anything about him.
Yeah. But he's extremely intelligent. He was an analytic kind of guy. He's like
That's what I read. He's a total stats nerd.
Super smart. But if you're running I'm going to tell you right now for free, the Montreal Canadiens would never hire somebody like that. They keep it in-house, meaning they hire French. And I get that. And the Leafs, I'm like, why? There's no way. That would be suicide. A guy like Sonny or his current boss of Bill Zito, who's also American in Florida, those guys would never function as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's different. It's apples and oranges. You see how much pressure they're under up there. It's nothing against Sonny, but I just don't think he would be the right person for that job. It's just, that would be, I mean, bless his heart if he did. He's a pretty hard guy to dislike, but they wouldn't care. They wouldn't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. I don't care if, I was going to say Wayne, but if anybody came to run the Oilers and they fucked it up, I would be pissed off at that person.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, here's a good example. I do not know why I'm getting myself into these conversations today.
Because I'm prompting you.
No, this is going way off.
Okay.
Kevin Lowe was a general manager. The Oilers keep it in-house. And Kevin Lowe, the saying is once an Oiler, always an Oiler. So we all are. So Kevin Lowe traded Ryan Smith at the trade deadline. Ryan Smith is an Edmonton boy, played his whole career, fucking pulled the feet under. They were $250,000 apart, something like that. Pulled shoot, traded him. The city raged almost as bad as it did when they traded Wayne, which was a whole nother thing. Mark Messier's jersey retirement was that night. Kevin Lowe didn't even attend the game because they were scared for his own safety.
I love that.
Kevin Lowe is fucking dead to me. I grew up, he was one of my heroes. That man is dead to me. You don't do that. You don't do stupid shit like that. There was people that literally, like, people were writing into the newspaper, and one guy was like, I was driving on the freeway, had to pull my car over and have a good sob. And like, I probably cried for a month when they traded Ryan Smith. And that's on top of the Gretzky thing because people have PTSD about that. Kevin Lowe's dead to me. And that's why I'm saying that if you go in, you better be prepared to maybe never work in this capacity again, because the Toronto Maple Leafs will fucking ruin you. Oilers will too, but Toronto's.
Guess what I found?
What?
I found the Vegas Golden Knights identity. Took me 3 games to figure it out. Took them 75 games to find it. But after watching Saturday's game in Edmonton, this is not a bandwagon. This leads us into what we're talking about. The team looks like the team we've expected since September. Play fast, play north, be aggressive. They are still a little leaky on some D-zone coverages. They're giving up an unusual amount of odd man rushes against, and some have ended up in the back of the net. But it seems to me that the new coach bump is a thing. What do you think?
I mean, it always is. I didn't obviously watch the game because, for the record, if we don't know yet, Sarina refuses to watch the Oilers. But my dad said that Edmonton was absolutely dog shit. And he was like, talked about how good Vegas played, but he goes, Edmonton was just bad. And we saw the reverse here, where Vegas wasn't bad, but Edmonton just outworked them. And
You're talking about when they were here the week before.
Yeah. When I was sitting here watching the Calgary game, I think, here in Vegas, it literally hit me to the point where I sat back in my chair and went, holy fuck, does Vegas have good defensemen? Because I'm an Oilers fan. They have dog shit defensemen, and they still went to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row, and they're fucking garbage. And I look and I'm like, oh my God, I would murder for Edmonton to have these defensemen. We can say what we want about this guy and that guy turning the puck over or whatever, but it's apples and oranges to me. I'm like, so they're humming. I saw Hannafin's had some pretty good games. We've seen...
Well, the biggest turnaround is Rasmus Andersson.
Oh my God.
Right? We have seen in the last 7 games, I think 7 is actually the right number, we've seen the guy they traded for. Now, I'm going to go off course a little bit, and people were complaining about him, and they're saying, he's a rental, and they haven't extended him yet. Shut your fucking pie hole. They're going to extend him, right? They didn't trade. Kelly doesn't trade for rentals. He just doesn't. Rasmus Andersson, I'm going to talk about the human being now, not the NHL player. 10 years in Calgary. You told me the story about what it was like in the room when he left, the people that you are friendly with in the Flames organization. Has trouble with his immigration thing, finally gets in, comes, plays, goes to Milan. His wife and kids still weren't here. He didn't see his wife and kids for basically a month.
He's probably like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
no, but
partying at the Red Rock. But right? Rocking a nice suite at the Red Rock, right? Next to Kelly's suite. Yeah. They're probably on the same Playboy floor. The man didn't see his family, and he's got young kids. Lots of NHL players have young kids. He's a young guy. He's 29.
Oh, my God.
And that has to fuck with your mind. You've had your life set 10 years, same spot, same routine, same pregame, same nap, same meal, same life, same everything. And the whole thing gets jumbled up. And the Olympic break completely exacerbates that. Completely. I don't know when the switch flipped, but I can tell you 1,000% Rasmus Andersson has been the best defenseman in the Golden Knights for the last 6 or 7 games. He has put on, I wish we could get the information, and the tag they've got on the back of their jerseys that does how far they skate and how fast they skate, all the nerdy stat stuff. He has been amazing. Not just putting up points, the way he defends, not only with his stick, the way he defends with his feet, the way he positionally, he's been the best D. I have no doubt whatsoever they're going to sign him. And I'm happy for the guy because we knew he was struggling. He knew he was struggling. I would bet you that his turnaround had something to do with not being in the hotel anymore, having his wife and kids there, and having some semblance of normalcy going forward. But he's been fantastic.
Oh, lights fucking out. And I even said to you the other night at the game, I think Razzy's better here than he was in Calgary. I think this is a Rasmus Anderson that I don't think anybody's ever really seen.
And he's never been in a place where he's got enough quality defensemen around him where he doesn't have to be Pietrangelo.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be 25, 26, 27 every hard minute. Now he's 21, 22 minutes like they all are, but he's getting a mixed bag of third and fourth line against, plus some top line minutes. It's a total slurp, but he's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's really good. And, you know, it goes back to the other night in Edmonton. He knows what it's like to play in Edmonton as a Calgary Flame. Right. It's a different, especially on a Hockey Night in Canada game. All the Canadian kids get jazzed up. It doesn't fucking matter what team they play for. If they're on a Hockey Night in Canada game and Razzy's going back into Edmonton, he still has the same disdain for those fans that they have for him. Doesn't care what color when he did the stare down, someone gave him the finger.
It was great.
It's because he was a Calgary Flame.
Right.
It's not because he did the stare down. It's because he's a Flame. And it just, he'll always be a Flame, right, too. But I think but I also I don't want to take anything away from Noah Hannafin because I really feel like he has been, because he's not a point getter guy. He's not a fucking whatever. He is so smart.
He's the Swiss Army knife guy.
He's unbelievable. Noah Hannafin is such a smart player. He sees the ice well, and Razzy moves his body a little bit more. How do I word this? Like to make it look like he's not that he's not doing a lot, but Hannafin's a little bit more of a seer.
He's Hannafin is more effortless,
and Razzy's
Raz is more active. Your eyes find Razzy more because he seems to be moving more, where Hannafin seems like he's just always in the right place, and it's not a strain to get to the right place. He's never too far out of position, so he's not as noticeable to the unintelligent Vegas Golden Knight fan base eye.
God, it was like you could see the other day at practice in the dressing room. It was light, whatever. But Razzy, all of a sudden he poked his head in the dressing room and he gave everybody this really sly look, and then he just took off. And everyone's like, "What the fuck was that?"
He did the same thing post game.
It's just such a goofball.
We're all in the scrum, and he pops out from the door, to the far right there where Garrett hangs out.
Yes,
and he starts giving everybody the evil eye, and he goes, and he turns.
Ridiculous,
right? And Jeremy Lauzon spilled the beans a little bit about him. Said he's quite the voice.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Lauzon is obviously, a favorite of this show.
Well, listen, we made him a star. Look what's happened. Look what happened since he did our podcast. He gets mic'd the next game. Guy invites him to a fight. He goes, "Okay, I'll give you one." Then he punches a guy in the head, and it's all mic'd up, right? Now he's Mr. Pop. Then he scores a goal.
Hold on, though.
He's having quite the role since.
He also was in the brouhaha with Edmonton at the end of the first. Fucking Jeremy, let's go. So many people have said you guys need to do this more. I'm like, we would love to, but it is hard. It is hard for the record.
We try very hard. And for the record, we've probably asked Garrett a dozen times for a player.
And Garrett's tried. It's just that circumstances.
Listen. When they're going good, we have a chance.
Yeah.
When they're not going good, listen, this is like dating an emotional stripper, right? When it's bad, it's really bad. And we know if they're running bad, don't ask for shit.
Yeah.
Right? But if they're on a happy, joy kind of move, we might be able to, squeeze one in.
We squoze
one in and scored his first goal. Right?
I know.
Looked like a goal.
Come on, man.
I think we have to take credit for some of the elevation of Jeremy Lauzon to the Vegas Golden Knights fan base. He hasn't done any other real interviews. He's talked to Ashley, he's talked to Mallard and stuff like that. But
I think maybe we are I've been going back and forth about whether or not I'm good luck or bad luck for this whole situation. We might be good luck. Because remember, I started calling Ben Hutton Ben Bobby Orr Hutton because he sniped a couple in a couple games. like, oh, Ben Bobby or Hutton. And now everybody calls him that. We're not telling him that because we don't want to jinx him.
No.
But these guys are so much fun. And we are so fortunate to be able to just watch them screw around in the dressing room, after practice. And like, it's just good guys.
Well, I'm glad you're good luck. I'm going to reserve what I am until.
Oh, and for the record, I miss Bonesy already. Okay. As most of you know, Braden Bowman was sent down to Henderson.
Scored the game-winning goal that got him to the playoffs.
Bonesy
5-4, had a 4-point night.
Yeah, he was unreal in that
Go to the game?
Yes.
Go to the room?
No, I left before the end.
Of course you did.
But yeah,
because that's what you do.
Yeah, because it's fucking late.
I know.
Listen,
10 o'clock.
The first period was a little bad. Like, I think at one point Henderson was getting outshot 11-2, and it was like, oh fuck, how's this gonna go? And then all of a sudden, just balls to the wall, and that's how Bonesy plays, right? And he was just going. Everybody goes, and that's what they were doing. It was fucking fantastic. Love that. And then they were golfing yesterday.
And he's the first call up.
Well,
1,000%, he's the first call up.
This is what I thought was super interesting because I'll be the first to admit that Bonesy was starting to look a little lost in some of the later games.
Yeah, because he's a kid still.
Yeah.
And it's easy not to look lost when you're playing with Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
You can just do what you want and Jack will figure it out.
Correct.
But when he went down the lineup and he had to create some himself, he struggled a little bit.
But he slid, honestly. He became right back into the confidence. I think he just lost a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker, and you can't teach hard work to somebody. So watching him in Henderson was he was back at it.
So let's see. I've got a few topics. Let's stay on the identity thing. What are your eyes telling you that's different about the Golden Knights the first 3 games under Torts?
Well, I did say about the practice, some of the behind the scenes stuff. I was talking to my dad about this, about how Torts just runs, I don't know, an old school practice. Everybody goes in practice. Everybody was going. It was amazing. And I think that kind of helps build that cohesiveness. I didn't watch the Edmonton game, obviously, but the first game against Vancouver, we could see a couple little Torts.
After the first period, we saw something. First period, we talked about it. They were visibly nervous.
Yeah, and like Torts said, he's like, when I watched the replay back of the first period, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Right.
So, it takes a little bit of time, and he started juggling lines, and everything kind of started clicking. Calgary was an interesting game, I felt, because Calgary's not going to make the playoffs, but they were balls out. They
played maybe one of their best games of the year. We were both saying, who's this Calgary team and who are the guys in the jersey?
They were chippy, and that's like old school hockey, right? And they have nothing to lose, so they're going to chip away at it. And so it's hard. I feel like Vegas doesn't play a lot of chippy teams. Like, teams don't really play like that anymore, but they're not in the playoffs, so they don't care. So that I thought was interesting, and I think that was a pretty good, not a test, but just good experience for Vegas to go, okay, wait, hold on. Not every team is going to be finesse. Like when Colorado comes in here, or Edmonton comes in here, it's different. Chicago, Calgary just went they didn't give a shit. And that's what Vegas needed a little bit of. It keeps you on your toes a bit.
I think the thing about the Calgary game that set it apart from the other 2 games was when they went down 1, they didn't go down 2 and didn't go down 3. They competed at 1 and tied it. Went down again, tied it. Went down a third time, tied it, and then, boat raced them in the third. But the stick-to-itiveness was there when in previous iterations of this club throughout the year, they would go down 1 and then they would have a brain fart and they'd be down 3. They'd give up 2 in a minute and a half, and the next thing you know, they're chasing 3 or they're chasing 4 or something like that. The focus didn't waver, right? They stayed completely engaged in the game, and in the third period, they took over. The Edmonton game, they were the better team from the puck drop. Just took them a bit to score. Edmonton never really was in the game, and I maintain it was more about Vegas than Edmonton.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to try to play at our tempo. And I think that's the quote from Torts. we're going to try and play at our tempo as opposed to reacting to the tempo that the other team brings. We're going to lead. And that was very, very evident in the game against Edmonton. They have found an identity. We thought this was the identity of the club, coming out of camp. We saw it sporadically through the season, 7 games up, but then we didn't see it for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. This all comes down, in my opinion, to simple message received. The word of the day after the Edmonton game was swagger, right? I mean, whoever feeds them their talking points, right? Everybody said swagger, got their swag back. They got their swag back because I think they have, to say that they've dumbed down the game is the wrong way to say it. Simplified.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. They've taken all the mind out, and they're just going forward and playing hockey. And it's been evident for 8 of the 9 periods that we've seen. We got another game later on tonight against Vancouver. I don't see any reason to expect anything else. Do you? I mean, they have no room for a letdown.
I'm not going to get on the whole fucking rolling now wagon because we've seen, right? It's so hard to say. You're playing another team in Vancouver that's not going to make the playoffs.
Right.
Or that isn't, but whatever.
You have to use recency bias.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you think.
Well,
but,
we have to. We do this every week. We can only talk about what we see and then guess what it's going to be going forward. But there hasn't been any sort of a fatal flaw exposed. I'm sure that they've worked on, avoiding the odd man rushes against, because they are playing against NHL people who can finish 2-on-1s and things like that. But this is not jumping on the bandwagon. This is saying that he came in and he told us he was going to simplify things and he wasn't going to try and change stuff. He was just going to try to get them to play faster. And I think you have to, I don't want to say concede, you have to accept that they have accepted the message and they're following their instructions. And as they are doing that, we're getting the result that we have been expecting we would get all year.
Yeah, yes. I'll say this. I don't know if they're going to beat Vancouver. I don't know if they're going to beat Seattle, whatever. But there's 5 games left?
There is.
Realistically, Vegas could easily come away with 6 to 8 points out of this.
So on my notes here, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Getting there.
Running the table is not unreasonable. They're playing Colorado Saturday. Colorado's playing for nothing. Literally nothing.
Playing like nothing.
And
fucking St. Louis beat them.
Right. McCarr's hurt. They've already clinched first in the West. The game is completely 1,000 irrelevant. Vancouver, 2 Seattles, and Winnipeg. Winnipeg's still, strangely enough, in the mix.
I'll tell you.
For some reason.
Gotta look out for those fuckers.
For some reason, they are still in the mix.
That's why I'm saying, because Winnipeg is coming here, and Winnipeg is going to be looking to win. It's like you just said about Colorado. It's a completely different
and they
situation.
Can get goalied. You can get goalied any night of the year with
Winnipeg.
If Hellebuck's playing.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got to believe he's playing their string out.
Yeah. So, and that's why I'm like 6 to 8. I don't know if they're going to run it. I don't think they're going to get a full 10 points.
It's not. If they play like they played against Edmonton, it's very, very reasonable.
I don't see this team winning 8 in a row. I don't. I don't. It's nothing against them. It's just it's not all of a sudden going to be 8 in a row. I don't think, because they got a new coach. They've just been too.
So you think the bump is the bump, but it ain't an 8-game bump, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, now's the time to get hot. If you're going to get hot, now's the fucking time, and that's probably another reason Kelly did what he did.
Well, Edmonton had won 5 in a row. The most they had won was 3 in a row leading into that streak until the Golden Knights came to town. So, that takes me to the next point. The pillow fight division is a 3-horse race. Yeah. Anaheim has shit the bed. There's no other way to be polite about it. Seattle, I've always thought was a fugazi. They're fading fast. the Golden Knights are 1 point back of Edmonton and of Anaheim. Everybody's got the same amount of games to play. The unfortunate circumstance of the first 75 games of the year is the Golden Knights couldn't win the tiebreaker versus the Silver Knights for regulation wins because they fucking shit the bed on that thing. But the division is sort of theirs to take right now. They've got the easiest of the three schedules, and Anaheim is going south quickly. And, you know, as much as I respect Joel Quenneville as a coach, you can't coach tension and stress and playoff hockey.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And that might be what's happening to Anaheim because there's a lot of pressure on them. Everyone thought they would improve with Q, but nobody thought they'd be leading the division with 5 games. If you had that on your bingo card, you're a fucking liar.
Well, let's be honest, let's break that down. The out of these top 3 teams, I think it's all a surprise where they are. I'm shocked Anaheim's where they are. I'm shocked Vegas and Edmonton are where they are. Those are 2 teams that should be well above Anaheim, talent-wise. But Vegas has the loser point. It's the only reason they're even in the shot for this, right? So it's kind of like.
But on the other hand, if they won half the loser points game, they'd be 8 points clear of everybody else.
But they didn't.
No, I know.
But they didn't.
I know. And if my
lost.
sister had a dick and ball, she'd be my brother. We've said that before.
You lost. But anyway, here we are. So it'll be an interesting wrap up. The chips are going to fall where they're going to fall. All you can control is whether or not you win tonight. That's it. That's where you can't even control that. But like, it's the only thing in your control for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Is win.
Before we go on, I have a question for you. Someone asked me this. I was like, fucking Eddie will know the answer. Why does the city not allow them to be called the Las Vegas Golden Knights?
It's not the city.
So what's the deal?
It was too wordy. They didn't want 4 words. They wanted 3.
That's why?
Yeah.
Someone asked me that. I was like, I don't know.
It has nothing to do with the city.
Okay. Because they were like,
they thought that Las Vegas Golden Knights was just too big a mouthful.
Because it's more than 3.
That's it.
Got it. Because they're like, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. It's the fucking okay. Okay, well, now that's cleared up.
They thought they ran it through the jumble, and it's just too much.
Okay.
That was it. It's really
it's really very anticlimactic.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm sorry I couldn't have given you a behind the scenes cool answer, but it was just too jumbly. And you know, Raiders 1 word, A's 1 word. The basketball team will be 1 word, so they'll all use Las Vegas. Golden Knights is 2 words. 3 is the max.
It's funny. I was watching Toronto and Oakland play baseball, and they start to put like the little abbreviation is ATH now.
Athletics.
Yeah, they don't put Oakland like they used to, OAK.
Because they're a team without a city,
right?
And they're not gonna put SAC A's.
But like, have you ever like seen something so besides Arizona playing in the fucking Mullet Arena?
That's pretty reasonable.
Okay, what else we got?
Well, we covered Raz. We covered just about everything.
What we did not cover is the fact that a woman had a fucking baby at the hockey game the other night in Edmonton.
And the other guy took one right off the fucking bucket.
Did you see Rowley?
And he took it off the bucket, was bleeding like a sieve, right? Didn't spill his beer and got stitched up and came back and sat down and watched the rest of the game.
So for those of you guys that didn't see, first of all, at the VGK Oilers game the other night, a lady went into labor and had a baby at the rink. Then a young fan got smoked in the face with a puck.
Yeah.
Had to go get fucking stitched. He gets laced up, comes back, finishes watching the game.
Didn't spill his beer. Didn't spill 1 drop of beer.
Don't
right off the
make him like that outside the prairies, you guys. They don't make them like that outside Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Alberta. These people, we are cut from a different cloth. And he's probably not the first guy that ever got smacked in the face with a puck and came back. Did it?
No.
It's just hilarious.
I was thinking about that because I saw that story. I can't remember. They talked about the woman who went into labor. I'm wondering if they named the baby Rogers.
I know everybody was talking. They're like, if it's a boy, it's got to be Connor. And if it's a girl, Connie. Like, just the fucking things people were typing. I was dying.
Stupid.
Here's the thing. Let's think about this woman for a second here. You know that woman was like, I'm having contractions, but I've got tickets to the Oilers game. I'm not fucking staying home. You know it didn't come on in 10 minutes. You know she went to the Oiler game because she wasn't going to miss the fucking game.
Water broke, baby coming.
I'm here for this. One of my old clients in Florida, there's a video. His wife went into labor. She's like, we got to go now. He drove her to the clinic because she didn't want to wait for the ambulance. There's video from the outside camera. She stood on the porch and delivered the baby standing up, and the nurse caught the baby underneath. She couldn't even get in the door, dude. So I get how it can happen, but this lady knew she was going to the Oiler game. She's not fucking around. I'm here for that. This bitch is good stuff. She's so tough, she had a baby at an Oiler game. Like, naturally, probably.
Rogers. They should name the baby after the arena. Isn't it Rogers Place?
Yeah, but Rogers is like a multimedia company, so.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's like it's like I was gonna say Bell, but like T-Mobile or whatever.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. Let's play rapid fire.
Okay. All right. Rapid fire with Eddie. Okay, the rapid fire is gonna be super quick. Bing, bing, bing. There's probably 7 or 8 questions, and the very last one will be a little bit more thought, and it's all over the place.
Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite away barn that you've ever visited or you like to watch your team play in?
Little Caesars in Detroit. It's easy.
Ooh, okay.
It's a fantastic barn. Best press box food and best media meal in the NHL.
I wasn't actually thinking that was an away barn for you.
Oh.
Can you get where I'm going with that?
Okay. God, that's tough because I really wanted to go do the Toronto-Montreal trip. The TD Garden.
Okay.
TD Garden was
cool.
really good. Even though the barn is a million miles away, the snacks and food at the Islanders barn is fucking fantastic. They got a soft ice cream thing in there, and it's pretty dope.
These people do not understand how we that go into the press box rate rinks based on their snacks.
Yes.
Last year with the Oilers guys like Louis DeBrusque, we had a full conversation. Remember that about who had the best snacks?
Yeah.
What rink? And Florida has full like warm food, stuff like that. Edmonton, not in the press box, but down in the
media dining.
No. It's where you buy like the VIP tickets where you can go underneath and there's a VIP. You know, rinks have those. They have a pierogi bar there. That's pretty tough to beat. So Edmonton, that's a good one. Okay.
Madison Square Garden gets honorable mention.
Oh, because it's fucking legit.
Because they give you like a $25 coupon and you get to go to any of the concessions around the rink.
See, that's good.
It's kind of fun.
The food here is unparalleled. You're going to get any restaurant at T-Mobile. Not every rink is like that. A lot of them are just local rink food. They don't have like specific restaurants. Anyway.
Okay.
Who do you feel is the most underrated player in the NHL?
Underrated. Connor Garland, maybe? Somebody like Connor Garland. That's a tough one because every team has somebody who plays like, nobody had Morgan Geekie scoring 30-some goals in Boston. And, that's a tough one. I was going to just say Braden Bowman, but he's got to get back up to the big club before he gets underrated.
I feel like there's a lot. Maybe like a Matt Boldy. I don't think he gets enough credit for how talented he is.
Yeah, but I don't think he's underrated. I think everybody in the league knows how good he is.
Yeah.
He's got 40. I think he's got 42 now.
That's a tough.
That's a really tough one because there's so many really good players who get hidden because the light is so bright on them.
You know who is a really good hockey player is Carter Verhaeghe in Florida. And the first time I ever saw Verhaeghe play live, this is 10 years ago or whatever, he flattened Ovi. And Ovi's pretty hard to knock off his skates. And I was like, holy shit. And he's a grinder, Verhaeghe. And I always liked Verhaeghe. I feel like he's really good. He doesn't get you were like, who, what the fuck, right? Verhaeghe's a really talented player.
Okay.
There's some guys. What is your, and it doesn't matter the answer, what is your favorite jersey? Which team do you think has the best jersey in the NHL, or your favorite?
I'm biased. The white Red Wing jersey.
Okay, besides that. Like if you had to pick, and like not VGK or whatever, but maybe not your team.
Not my
team. Do you think has legit jerseys?
The red Habs jersey and the red Hawks jersey.
Yes, solid.
The best third jersey I ever saw was the Canadians 2 years ago when they had it was like powder blue. It almost not powder blue. It was.
I know what you're talking about. Is blue.
It was that color blue. It was blue dominant flipped. Oh, it was sexy.
Listen to me.
I tried buying it.
I can't believe the Montreal Canadiens allowed that to happen. They've never changed their jerseys.
No,
ever.
It's an abomination.
And when they were talking about those third jerseys, I go, there's no way Montreal is going to change. And they did, and I couldn't believe it. I'm sure they fought the league like a bitch.
Oh, I thought
you don't see Habs fans wearing those fucking things.
Oh, you couldn't. I tried everywhere to find one because I wasn't going to put a current player. I was going to put Mickey Redmond 20 on it.
But I just...
Oh, I thought it was fucking...
You don't fuck with stuff like that. I don't know.
And I hate to say this, but the Leafs St. Patrick's Day green jerseys are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're pretty cool.
You know what I think are cool for like a third jersey? I like Tampa's where it says bolts across the thing. It's nice and simple. The fucking legit Whaler shit. When Colorado pulls out the Whaler shit,
well,
I love that.
No, Colorado brings out the Nordiques.
I mean, sorry.
Carolina brings out the Whaler
shit.
I was like, wait.
That shit is so cool. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
You get full blown, like, speaking of the Blue Jays, George Springer, who leads off for the Blue Jays, still wears blue and green batting gloves and cleats because he was a Hartford Whalers fan.
See, I would wear a Hartford Whalers Sean Burke jersey.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Actually,
get in trouble in the press box, but
Corey, my friend Corey, was drafted by Hartford, and so he has his framed Whalers draft jersey.
Love that.
I know, it's fucking sick. Okay, are you superstitious?
No.
Oh my God, I wish. I am really bad.
No.
Which way do you shoot?
Right.
Do you? What position did you play?
Defense. I started out as a center because I was the best skater as a kid.
Yeah. But
then I grew into my rotund frame. and my growth spurt took me from about 5'4" to about 5'9", and from about 120 to about 160. And they're like, okay, big boy, it's time to play defense.
You're going to the point. That's why they didn't put you in net. Yeah. The fuck? What is your favorite shootout move? Like, what is your favorite that you like to watch?
Oh, the Datsyukian.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The pull drag and 60-degree wedge.
Interesting. Okay. I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah, that or the Forsberg.
Okay. What's the Forsberg?
Drag across and leave the puck, and it just sort of trickles itself across the goal line.
Where he goes like backdoor kind of.
Yeah, but no, Datsuk when he pulls it back and the goalie, and he just goes.
Yeah. I'm not a big showboat fan. I was thinking more like 5-hole glove side, but that's okay. Okay, here's the last question. This is important. Let's pretend you're still a center, or you could be a defenseman. Let's do both. Who would your dream line mates be? Past or present? Who would you have? And listen, we know like guys like Mitch play left wing, center, whatever. Who would you have? It doesn't matter, just forwards.
Well, D is easy. It's Nick Lidstrom.
Yeah, be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I was playing center, I mean, I'll stay. Oh God.
I think there's only one answer, but what do I know? If I'm a Red Wings fan.
Well, you would want.
But you can play the wing, right? Well, just pick a couple forwards.
Well, if I was playing center, and this is going to make sense to nobody, but it's Gordy on one side and Ted Lindsay on the other.
Okay, that was just going to say there's only one answer.
I mean, but if we're talking to the audience of the podcast, Gerard Gallant on one side and Steve Yzerman on the other.
Ooh, interesting.
Because Gerard Gallant was Steve Yzerman's left wing when he played for the Red Wings.
Yeah.
So that would be something that somebody that watches this podcast would know who they were. But for me, who went to Gordie Howe Hockey School, Alex Delvecchio was the center, Gordie Howe on the right, Ted Lindsay on the left. Sure, slot me in, coach. I'm ready to get down.
Mine would 100% be, in no particular, it would be Wayne and McDavid. Like, there's fucking no, I mean, obviously everybody plays the same fucking position.
Right.
But Draisaitl on the wing, I guess, he is fucking unbelievable. That guy is an absolute horse. On defense for me, it'd be
Paul Coffey.
Honestly, Bobby Orr. Bobby Orr can do everything by himself. So Paul Coffey was.
He did prove that.
But yeah. So anyway,
it's still strange to me seeing Paul. I mean, I know he played in Edmonton and he's back on the bench in Edmonton, but he was unbelievable for the Red Wings.
He was unbelievable everywhere.
I mean, he just.
Yeah.
I mean, he was Cale Makar 20 years before Cale Makar came around.
Yeah, Paul Coffey was lights out.
Skated like the wind.
Yeah.
Shot like a,
Well, that's what they compare Cale Makar to, or they were. It was like, this guy is the next Paul Coffey or better. Like, he is unbelievable.
I think that's more than fair.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, one more thing before we go.
Okay, one more thing.
It's your birthday coming up.
It is.
I have a message for you.
62. Can you believe I want to be 62?
Yes.
You can. Thank you for that.
Because I knew you were 61.
Oh, thank you. You're lucky. You're lucky I don't tell the story about our text message thread.
But be my guest. No, this is a message for you, and you're probably gonna guess who it's from.
Okay.
But I reached out to this person and asked them to send a birthday message for you.
Is it Hannah?
No. I had to read this a couple times over. It was hard. Okay. I remember thinking when Eddie first started the podcast that, quote, this was the perfect thing for him to do. He loves hockey, loves the Wings, and his new adopted home team, the Golden Knights, and this is the perfect place for him to spread his immense knowledge of the game to an audience that might not be as versed with the nuance of the game as he is. Hold on. I've watched him grow into his hosting, loved his back and forth with Joe, rest in peace, Joe, we miss you, and how different the dynamic is with Sarina, but equally as enjoyable.
Chris Chapman.
Our father used to say about both of us that when we finally found that thing in our lives that we loved, watch out. And boy, was he right. I'm not going to get super personal. He would hate me for it if I did. But I will say I could not have picked a better brother if I had to. He has done our mother proud watching over me. Love you, big bro. Happy birthday, Mark, Amy, and Daphne.
Wow.
I read it like 3 times and I cried every time. I'm like, thanks, asshole. Now what am I? He goes, is this good? I'm like, well, meanwhile, I'm crying, so I guess it's fine. And he laughed, but anyway.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Sorry.
It's the first birthday without our father.
Yeah. Well, how old's Mark?
If I'm going to be 62, he's 58.
Oh, so he is a few years younger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my niece is 11 or 12, I think. But
I love that you have no idea. I have no idea how old my nephews are. I mean, I have a general idea, but
I think she's 11. Not positive. I know she was named after my mom.
Yeah, well, at least you know that.
Yeah. I mean, I know that much.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is. I was thinking about that. First birthday where I don't get.
Yeah.
A call from either of them. I mean, my mom's been gone 25 years, but I was thinking, I'm going to go out and have some fun Thursday. I'm going to be in Florida. And I thought, you know what? I'm not in the mood for fucking fun.
Yeah.
Just go and come back and try and make the day go as fast as possible. So thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. I love you. I know you're going through it right now with your daughter and my niece, but stay strong because you're the best dad I know. A better dad than our dad was to us. I can tell you that much. So on that tear-jerking fucking moment, I think we'll probably end this podcast. We're going to take an extra day for the podcast next week because we're going to do it the day after the last game. So we're going to have, I suspect, quite a long episode because we're going to have to wrap up the regular season. I don't know if we'll do the whole report card shtick, but we're going to bundle up the regular season, and then in theory we're going to preview the playoffs, barring.
What's so funny is we're like 8 days away, and we have no idea what could possibly happen.
No
clue.
No, the only thing we know is in theory they're opponent will be Anaheim, Edmonton, or Utah.
And for the record, VGK is making the playoffs. We're done fucking around. We're going to win some games now.
Okay. So that's it. Thanks for watching. All 481 fucking subscribers.
Boom.
I wish that YouTube would tell me when people subscribe so I could thank this week's subscribers. Maybe Bjorn can tell me if they do that and there's a way I can see when people subscribe. 481 fucking subscribers. The 500th subscriber, if they're local or willing to fly, gets to come to steak dinner with us.
Wait, I thought it was Mexican and strippers.
It's probably going to, okay.
Whatever you want.
I thought 500 was worthy of a steak, but okay.
Hey, there's some good Mexican food over there and some probably even better strippers.
Okay. 500 subscriber, no assholes. You can't unsubscribe and resubscribe. I know how you
click.
I know how you fucking people are because it's exactly the same way I would game the system. So the 500th new subscriber gets El Dorado Cantina with my friend Martine Jordan.
Let's
who
go.
runs the joint. So thanks all 481 of you, and we'll see you the day after the regular season ends with playoff preview because Sarina said they're making the playoffs. We're out of here.